Right, welcome everybody to another episode of Chris and Dave's Reality Cast. I am one of your hosts, Chris Phelps, and my co-host and very good friend is Mr. Dave Horrocks.
Hey there, Chris, and hello to our listeners out there. Welcome to Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. We are covering Love Island UK Season 7, Episode 45. Now, Chris, a little bit of a different episode tonight, a bit more emotional. So what do you reckon? Where do you want to start?
Well, obviously, I think the whole episode centered around Jake and Liberty, did it? We got a little bit of dialogue. Now, I couldn't work out whether this is the sort of stuff Jake does every day. Is he mean and moody? Is he like this? Because he literally, I didn't even hear it. Sam was like, he's just said he gets the ick off her. And I was like, what? I said, I didn't hear that. Because we said it in the Discord, didn't I? Yeah. And I can't take credit and say I heard it. So we rewound it. And he did say it. And then he was like, sort of sniping, but he looked like he was down on himself, like he the picture thing and all that. So they were painting a picture for us tonight. Has he been like this for 7 weeks? Is this why Liberty's had the doubts? However, whichever way you look at it, it's not a good look for him, Dave, at all. I mean, people have said he's playing a game. I didn't feel sorry for him, but I was thinking, is there an issue here that we're not aware of? But he should never treat Liberty like that. And I think as it went on, I honestly believe in hindsight now, looking back, she was justified in what she did. And I do think that they're not compatible. And it was just horrible. If she was my daughter, you'd want to literally jump in the TV and hug her, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I think it's weird, isn't it? Because obviously we'd seen the preview from yesterday. We'd seen the first look. You know, there was obviously something going on. We were speculating, you know, what could it be? Could it be the parents coming in? There must be something big that's happened. And actually, it wasn't anything big at all. I think it was more just a case of the straw that broke the camel's back. I'm not sure that Jake has been like that all the way through. Maybe he has, and maybe they've edited those bits out. He looked more to me. You know, Chris, when you're just having a shit day, you just wake up and you're in a bad mood and there is no reason for it. You got a good night's sleep. You know, you ate the same shit yesterday that you did the day before, but you are just in a crap and foul mood. And it's not like you're confrontational with everyone, but it kind of spills out. And he just, with the little snipey comments, I missed the thing about the ick as well. It was you who said it in the Patreon chat. And then I was like, no, what? And I ended up rewinding it. And I was like, oh, yeah. And he didn't say she gave him the ick. He was on about the messiness, wasn't he? And he says, you know, it gives me the ick. But, you know, in Love Island, you know, that's a really big thing to say, isn't it? But that didn't seem to rock her that much in that moment. But then all the way through, he's just being a little bit of a dick, really, isn't he? He's sort of like sniping at her. She's looking like she's rolling with it. You know, she's still trying to be affectionate with him, but he's just like looking at her like she's a fucking idiot. And then the whole thing when he's taking the picture and he's like, it's all about you, isn't it? And it was just one of those comments. It's seemingly nothing, but you know there's quite a lot behind that as well. So I was surprised that was the straw that broke the camel's back. I didn't buy his whole I love you speech for a second. You know, I thought it was ridiculous. But I think we were all a bit surprised, weren't we, that Liberty went for it. And it seems to me that she's just had this moment of clarity where it's like, you know what? Actually, it's not just about today. It's not just about Jake being a bit crabby and whatever. It's an accumulation of all the things over the last few weeks.
Yeah, and you're right, and she's got to go with her gut. Her gut is saying there's something wrong here. Look, there's literally no affection, is there? Now and again there will be. I will give Jake a bit of defence, though, Dave. I'd want to split up with a girl if she was going across my worktop with a fucking arse sliding along there as I'm making fucking scrambled egg.
It was not good, was
minging. That was minging. I know she said, I'm coming over for a kiss, but I'm like, you better have had a shower, girl. That is fucking me. Even if you have, it's like, no, you don't do stuff like that. That's just like, fucking hell.
Right. The Love Island attire. You know, whenever you see the girls walking around the villa, all I keep thinking is, God, that must be fucking uncomfortable. Like, ride it right up your fucking arse. How are you not pulling that out all fucking day?
Yeah.
And like you say, when she's fucking sliding across the breakfast top there, I'm like, dude, come on. I like you, but fucking hell. Other people have to eat off that, you know. So, yeah, I completely agree with that. And I did. I'm going to flip flop a little bit as well, because she was saying about, you know, I want someone to love me for my messiness. Let me tell you, no one loves you for your messiness.
No,
People can get past it and fucking put up with it. But if you are a messy fucking slob, it's no good for anyone, because some fucker has to clean it up eventually, doesn't it? So, you know, I think a bit of immaturity there from her. She's 21, ain't she? She's had fucking mum and dad chasing around after her and cleaning up after her and stuff while she does her makeup and whatever. So I don't blame Jake for being a bit crabby like if she's just relentlessly fucking messy and he's having to clean up their little space there. But it was obviously a lot more than that.
Yeah, because I with you on that. I did think that her reaction was really to the extreme, but the more you watch his interactions, and he's just basically just given up, and it's so bizarre to get in the last week and be like this. You know, she obviously is into love. She loves him. I'm going to say it, Dave, now, and I'm going to get some stick. The cynic in me still says, is this going to be the ultimate love reunion? Is Jake going to show her the love and affection that she needs? It's going to go two ways. You're going to, we got the VT, but he's either going to propose to her, which sounds ridiculous, I know, or they're just going to say, we're not bothered about the money, because we get that little VT. But there's just something in me saying that I'm not completely buying all of it. I think the tears are real and everything, but I just feel like there's more to this story now. And obviously going into tomorrow, Prosecco, Jack Daniels, it's all going to be laid on my side table, Dave, ready to rock. So,
oh yes, Friday night. I mean,
what do you think of that? Because we got that little VT. Do you think that there is a possibility of a sort of reconciliation? Because I'm swaying more. There's going to be more of a reconciliation than there is them actually splitting.
So I think the first thing is, I think you're right. There's no in between. They're either going to leave or there's some grand gesture and they're going to stay together. I think as it was unfolding, I was probably 50-50. But once I had time to like chew on it a little bit, I thought, you know what? I think they're going to leave. I don't see how you come back from that unless you make a proposal. And again, had I not seen how Liberty just accepted Jake when he said about, you know, I love you, I feel giddy, and all this sort of stuff, I wouldn't be, I wouldn't think she'd buy it. But having seen that, I'm like, well, there is a chance, a small chance, that he'll make some grand gesture and he'll buy it. But I actually think he's so close to the finish line. If we assume, you know, if we don't take his dad at his word and assume that he has thought about the game and winning the 50K, because let's face it, it's not fucking chess, right? There's 6 previous seasons and all the other overseas seasons as well that you can look at and say, okay, these are the patterns of people who at least get to the final and stay on screen for a while. It doesn't matter if you win it or not. You know, it's all about this social media career after, isn't it, now? So I just think he's got there and he's like, you know, we're not going to win this or we're not going to be in the final 2. And I'm just not sure if I can be arsed with this. And that's if we assume he is playing a game. But even if we're not, he doesn't have that affection or love, I don't think, with Liberty. You never see him with Liam and Millie, right? And we're giving Liam a fair bit of stick in this season, but you can see it with them. They're affectionate with each other, and you know they're all over each other. With Jake, you just never see anything like that, do you?
No, and I will say also, I'm not Faye's biggest fan, but her and Teddy have a connection.
Mm,
Whatever you decide, you sit on that fence, and we'll talk about that date in a minute. But there is an affection there. There's an affection between Kaz and Tyler. Aaron and
yeah.
Mary, exactly the same. There was an affection between them. So I'm with you on that. They look, I don't know, they look like they've been together for years and just given up on the
Mm,
relationship. And I don't know
yeah, yeah.
whether, obviously, she wants more from him, and he's just not prepared to give it. The proof will be in the pudding, because the ultimate way to show that Jake is not a game player and everything his dad said is true is exactly what you've just said, that he walks away and says to her, I don't want the money, I want you. I'm not game playing. That would
Mm,
be that they, and you said tonight on Discord, and you saw right, the money they would make off the back of that day, forget the
yeah.
50 grand, fucking hell. You'd be printing money for fun. They would go down as like the ultimate love story, and they would make it work, I think.
Well, look at they're not going to make it work. He's not into her. She's fucking.
I know she's not.
He'll be checking his DMs as soon as he gets out the fucking villa. But to make a play like that and then 2 weeks later just say, "Oh, we've decided to be friends," could end up with him, being more famous or infamous for that. Look at Amy from season 5. She's not done too badly, has she, out of exiting the villa with that teary goodbye with Curtis. So I do think, that's the road that they're going to go down. So I'm probably 70-30 that they're going to tell everyone. They're going to come back from the date and they're going to tell everyone that they're done.
Yeah. We'll see, Dave. Honestly, I can't wait. We said it yesterday, and it's like, there's no drama. It's crap this last week. And yeah, the dates are a bit corny, but that little bubbling thing underneath, you're like, oh, this is going to go right to the end. So what do you think? Just moving on slightly, what do you think of Faye and Teddy, the date itself, and that standing in the pool thing? I found it weird as hell. And I do think Teddy has got this complex where he thinks he can save Faye. And I just don't think, for her personally, at this present time in her life, he's going to do that. And I think they are not going to go the duration after the villa. But he seems to have this thing thinking he can get the best out of it. And I just don't think she's prepared to have that speak with herself and go, you know what, I need to be in the middle. I need to compromise. I need to stop flying off the handle. I just don't think she's got it in her at the moment.
No, I guess the first thing for the whole date and the setting, I think it looked great. It looked to me like an album cover or something. It looked really artistic, and all of the rose petals scattered on the top of the water and everything looked fantastic. Couldn't help but think though, it's still a shit date, isn't it? Because you're getting them to stand in there, have a table at the side of it so that they can observe and look at the nice, lovely rose petals. I just kept thinking, how fucking uncomfortable, and how long have they made them stand in there up to their waist, getting all fucking wrinkly and everything?
Yeah, I thought the same. I said to Sam, I went, is the water in there, or is it just flower petals? And Sam's like, no, I think it's water.
It was definitely water.
Water, yeah. When they come back to the villa, they're like, oh, you're so fucking wet. And it's like, it was a bizarre. I mean, I didn't think any of the dates were great. It looked like they'd fucking run out of budget, to be honest. Let's get a load of flowers and put. I think probably Faye and Teddy had the most in there. I think narrative-wise, it probably makes sense to put them first on the date. Yes, they are subconscious, but we've got 2 dates again tonight, and tomorrow. Sorry, you've got Jake and Liberty, and then you're going to have Chloe and Toby. So it sort of works that the ones that you think possibly were going to win are there now. Their dates will be on it. And I do think, Tyler and Kaz's date was brilliant. Straight away, we're getting
just before we get to Tyler and Kaz's date. So, of course, Teddy dropped the L word.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Yes, he did. Yeah.
So, just kind of casually threw it in there. And I don't know. I don't really think he's on a mission to save Faye. I just think it's as simple as he really likes her and he has genuine feelings for her. But, when he dropped the L word, again, a little bit like Jake, Chris, she didn't respond. She didn't say it back. Just kind of give him a bit of a hug. And I am completely on the same page as you that I mean, they're not going to last on the outside. Faye needs to sort Faye out first before she invites someone else in. I think from everything that we've seen in this season, and actually I'll give her credit as well, because she's been on my shit list for a few weeks now, but I thought the way she kind of comforted Liberty and everything, and she was giving her a bit of tough love as well. I just thought I thought was spot on. Couldn't find any fault with that at all. But still not really buying them as a proper couple, Teddy and Faye for the outside. But I definitely do think Teddy's got genuine feelings for her.
I think so. I think so as well. Interesting, Dave. Interesting. Let's see how it plays now, because I'm still saying that I think they've got a good chance of winning it now. I think the producers think we're going to buy this redemption story with Faye, and I don't think we've had it before in reality stuff where you're like, how the hell has this couple or has this person won this? From nowhere. I don't know. The gods are saying to me, my gut feeling saying that potentially they've got a chance, and that obviously means that she'll get voted out tonight.
No. You were rock solid. The reality radar was calling Teddy and Faye.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
So don't give me that they've got a chance.
Look, 100% success rate, Dave. So just remember that, okay? And when I say 100% success rate, Mary and Aaron, the 100%, okay? Forget everyone else I got wrong. 100% hashtag reality radar. But let's see. So anyway, Kazan, go on.
They do have a chance. I'm going to open the door a little bit. They do have a chance. And like I say, read into it what you will about Faye not returning the L word to Teddy. What if she did that right before the voting? That would absolutely have an influence, I would think, on people watching. Yes. So I do think they've got a chance. I don't think they're going to do it, though. I still think Chloe and Toby are probably the most popular right now.
Yeah, I think so. I think they are. But, Dave, the internet wins yet again. Tyler and Kaz, great date, great chemistry, really into each other. Love, you can see there's a spark there. His explanation regarding it was pretty poor. But it was sort of like, well, I sort of did this in Castro, but we got fucking someone do a picture, Photoshop Millie playing the piano behind Tyler. And then I saw it with Millie, and then fucking Liam with his microphone singing on the date in the courtyard. And I was like, that wins for me every time. Ridiculous.
It was like literally during the episode that picture started to circulate, wasn't it? Just thought it was absolutely perfect for someone to quickly have that idea, get the right pictures, superimpose them, and then tweet them out. Hats off to you, sir, or lady, madam.
Yeah, I was going to say, Dave, steady. But no, I mean, look, we're going to get the other dates. Have you got any predictions for what we're going to see? We obviously see that they go on a yacht, and he said about a yacht. Isn't that a coincidence?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen that before, haven't we? That was the Amber and Greg date. I'm pretty sure it was the same yacht. Yeah. Looked like it. But so that's what we'll see. I do think they'll have that chat and decide to leave the villa from there. With Chloe and Toby, I'm not sure. Are they going to be so formulaic? Are we going to see the helicopter, date, fly them out to somewhere and have a bit of a picnic kind of date? I'm not sure, but I don't really see any other winners from here than Chloe and Toby. And I'm wondering, Chris, when are they going to get the parents in?
Well, I think Derek had put that as long as they're in double jab, they can come in. So potentially, it's got to be. It won't be tonight.
It'll be Sunday, it won't be tomorrow, night, couldn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Just before it all finishes. So
maybe
we'll see,
Jake's
Dave.
fucking is trying to get out there before he meets Liberty's family.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, the first one, Chris, is from Mark, and it says, "Hi, love your podcast. In the USA, we are 2 weeks behind in episodes. Just asking if you could not put the winners in the podcast title so I don't accidentally see any spoilers. Thanks." And the email's from Mark, but it says, "Thanks, Jen." So, not sure if it's Mark or if it's Jen. Second one, Chris, is from Denise, and it says, so the subject is well, and it says, if the excuse for Faye's behavior is she's been hurt in the past and she's now forgiven, then the same line of thinking can be applied to Jake as well. He who is which people, in brackets, the viewers say about her. What we have learned is people are flawed and relationships are flawed, but can they dig through their muck and stick together? I mean, what do you think about that? Drawing parallels between Jake and Denise. I can't remember who brought that up before, that maybe, we're making all these excuses for Faye about her being hurt in the past, so that excuses her behavior in the future. But, maybe Jake's the one who's been hurt in the past as well.
Yeah, a couple of people have said that over the last couple of days. He's not conducted himself in the right way if he has, Dave. If that's his behaviour and that's his go-to, then it's pretty terrible, isn't it? Let's be honest. It is pretty terrible, but it would explain it. And also, if there is the redemption, it will be in this episode tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's a bit of a, I don't want to say a player, but I mean, he's kind of an alpha male type character, isn't he? I can't imagine I can imagine he's had a lot of quote unquote girlfriends, Chris. And I feel like Will from the In-Betweeners there. He's been with a lot of ladies. Right now, Chris, the next one is from Jessica. And this is the subject of this one is Jake. Hi guys, I'm writing this before having watched tonight's episode, but I know what happens with Jake and Liberty and that he doesn't even fight for her. We've been thinking that Jake has been playing the game all along and that staying with Liberty was because he saw that he saw that when people couple from day one and stay together, they have a good chance of winning. That might be true, but I think a bigger reason is no other girls wanted him. I don't think any other woman that entered the villa has been attracted to Jake. That made it easy for him to stay with Liberty, but also made him kind of resent her because he was essentially forced to stay with her. Thoughts? ? And that was from Jess. So what do you think to that, Chris? And I know we'd mentioned that before, hadn't we? When the likes of Lucinda and Millie came in, they were definitely Jake's type, but, they showed him no interest at all. And, in Casa Amor, he kind of took himself off the table, but, we've seen that before. And someone wants to make a play for you, they make a play for you. So what do you reckon?
I think that's a great theory because we've seen that. A couple of people have mentioned that over the life of this series, Dave. Definitely because there's the same thing saying, like, is it because he's not been able to pick anyone? So I'm with that. I'm with that theory as well. That is a possibility. I'm not dismissing it, but I do think it's interesting. It is an interesting take on it, and it would also. It doesn't justify his behaviour whatsoever. And if that is the case, then she is correct in doing what she's doing.
Yeah, I don't know if he's resenting her for having to stay with her. But definitely they were never tested. They were never involved in a triangle or anything, and that sort of makes it easier. But I think all the way through that kind of that needle, that whole thing about, when he looks at her, he doesn't want to rip her clothes off and what have you, I think he's used to probably having that level of attraction. And he thought it might grow, and it just hasn't. So I think he's just run out of steam right near the end. And, if he has had a plan, it's just in tatters right now.
So, as always, guys, big thank you. All the interactions are amazing. Whether you agree, disagree with us, it just gets everyone talking. We love it. If you want to email us, cdrealitycast@gmail.com, like the guys have done today. Follow us on social media @cdrealitycast. And always, patreon.com/cdrealitycast if you want to support us. And get over to Facebook as well, which is Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. And we've got loads of members joining every day and loads of great conversations. So, Dave, the famous roll call of honour for today is Lucy, Shern, Helen, Abby, Charlie, Brianna, Chloe, Neve, Jacqueline, Noreen, Claire, Amy, Zoe, Joanna, Helen, Libby, Katie, Dee Dee, Hannah, Ed, Priscilla, Susan, Hennessy, Haley, Tracy, Lauren, Lucky Lulu Green, and Kent Gustafson.
We are almost there. We've got Friday, Sunday, and Monday to go. And we've got our theories, but it's still pretty close. And I have to say, in the final run-in, I'm still enjoying this. So, hats off to the series. I'm usually bored by this point. So hopefully, we get some more drama tonight. So thank you, sir. Thanks for everyone who's been listening and been with us for the whole season. And we'll speak to you next time.
Bye.